Welcome to Finance Forum, the podcast where we expose the money, the housing traps, legal grey zones, and clever cons threatening your money, your home, and your peace of mind. Picture this. You walk through a beautifully staged home, fresh paint, sparkling kitchen, spotless basement. You fall in love. You buy it. But a few weeks after moving in, the nightmares begin. Black mold under the drywall, leaky foundations, termite damage, and that newly renovated bathroom. It was patched with cheap materials, hiding years of water damage. In today's episode, we break down how sellers, and sometimes even licensed flippers, hide major property issues to inflate value, dodge inspections, and shift the risk to unsuspecting buyers. Segment 1. What is the hidden damage scam? The hidden damage scam isn't always as flashy as wire fraud or identity theft. It's quieter, but just as devastating. Here's how it works. A home is put up for sale. On the surface, it looks perfect. In reality, the seller, or renovator, has covered up serious problems: mold, leaks, pests, structural instability. Paint is used to cover water stains. Rugs hide warped floors. Drywall hides black mold. Basements are staged to look dry and fresh. The listing advertises recent renovations or move-in ready. The buyer, trusting the visuals, or worse, skipping inspection, moves in. Months later, the damage resurfaces. By then, the seller is long gone, and the buyer is stuck with tens of thousands in repairs. It's one of the oldest scams in real estate, and it's happening right here in Canada. Segment 2, Real Case, the Ottawa Mold Nightmare. Let's talk about Priya and Aman, first-time home buyers in Ottawa. In 2022, they bought a modest detached home for $590,000. The listing said professionally renovated, and when they viewed it, the home was beautifully staged. The seller claimed the house had just been redone. New paint, new flooring, even a finished basement. The couple waived the inspection to be competitive. Their agent gently discouraged it, but didn't push back. They were excited and tight on time. 3 months after moving in, the problems began. First, a musty smell in the basement. Then, peeling drywall. Behind it, black mold stretching across 2 full walls. It didn't stop there. A plumber later found illegal plumbing reroutes, improperly vented systems, and a hidden crack in the foundation. Estimated repair bill, $75,000. When they tried to contact the seller, they were unreachable. Turns out, the renovator was an unlicensed contractor who had flipped the home and moved provinces. Priya and Aman had no legal recourse, no warranty, and limited savings left. They were devastated, and their dream home became a financial sinkhole. Segment 3, the cover-up playbook. The hidden damage scam can be carried out in several ways. Here are some common cover-up techniques used by shady sellers and quick flippers. 1. Paint over water damage. Water stains on ceilings, mold in corners, and signs of flooding. Paint it over with semi-gloss or sealing spray to mask the signs. 2. Carpet or laminate flooring. Uneven, warped subfloors from leaks. Cover it up with floating laminate or throw rugs. 3. Strategic lighting and staging. Basement windows opened during showings. Fans running quietly, scented candles, all to disguise moisture, mildew, or pest smells. 4th. Faux renovation materials. New. Bathroom tile applied over rotting drywall. Flooring installed without addressing subfloor mold. Cheap cosmetic fixes over structural issues. 5. Tampered inspection access. Blocked attic hatches, locked basement doors, or forgotten electrical panels that can't be opened during inspection. 6. Fast closings. The faster the closing, the less time for due diligence. Some sellers even offer discounts if the buyer waives conditions. In a seller's market, when competition is intense, these tactics are shockingly effective. Segment 4. Legal risks and limited recourse. Here's the worst part. In most provinces, home sales are buyer beware. If a seller doesn't actively lie, but just fails to disclose a hidden issue, they may not be liable, especially if the buyer waived inspection. Some key points. Latent defects. Hidden defects not discoverable through a normal inspection must be disclosed if the seller knows and the defect makes the home unsafe or uninhabitable. But proving the seller knew is extremely difficult. If you waived inspection, it's even harder to claim you did your due diligence. Most lawsuits around these issues are lengthy and expensive, and sellers often vanish, complicating recovery. Unless the home is new and under warranty or sold by a licensed builder, your protections are limited. Segment 5. How to protect yourself. Let's shift to solutions. Here's how you protect yourself from falling victim to hidden damage scams. 1. Never waive the inspection unless you're a contractor. Even in a hot market, find a way to include an inspection clause, if not before offer, then as a condition afterward. 2. Hire a reputable inspector. Use someone licensed and independent, not someone recommended by the seller or agent. Look for red flags like poor attic ventilation, mold odor, discoloration on ceilings, fresh paint in isolated areas, foundation cracks, evidence of pest activity. 3. Ask for permits and receipts. If the listing says, recently renovated, ask, by who? Was it permitted? Ask for contractor names and permit documents. If they hesitate, walk away. Check city records and zoning history. You can look up whether the property has been cited for work without permits. If the basement was finished last year but no permit exists, that's a red flag. 5. Look behind the staging. Ask to lift rugs, check behind furniture, and open closets. If you're rushed, ask why. 6. Use a real estate lawyer early. They can help identify risks, review disclosures, and advise if something seems fishy. 7. Get insurance. With care home insurance won't always cover pre-existing damage. If it's found to have been concealed, you may be denied coverage. Be upfront and cautious. Buying a home in Canada is hard enough without having to worry about deception hiding behind drywall. But the hidden damage scam is real, and it's growing. It targets first-time buyers, busy families, and anyone who's in a rush. But now you know what to look for. The smell of fresh paint, the rush to close, the locked attic, those are red flags, not coincidences. Don't let a cover-up cost you your savings, your safety, or your peace of mind. Thanks for joining Finance Forum. If you've had a similar experience, comment your thoughts. Next week, we'll tackle another major issue. We buy homes for cash scams and how they pressure vulnerable sellers into walking away from hundreds of thousands in equity. Until then, stay sharp, stay informed, and never settle for surface-level shine.